Well, friends, as people are starting to come in and find this feed, hello there. My name is Alan, and I am the creator of God and Gigs, and this is our summer website clean up challenge. It's where I've kind of put myself on the hot seat and decided to rebuild my website as a musician, really just using some of the tools that I've been talking about and trying to help other people in our community to build their websites when needed to make sure that they can reach the audiences they need to reach, increase their influence, increase their impact, and create income opportunities. And all these things go through our websites, especially now that COVID 19 and the pandemic and all these situations have caused us to really lose out on a lot of possibilities of live performances. So, for a lot of us, we now are relying on digital information, and that's why I decided to do this challenge. Number one, because I needed to work on my website, and I wanted to do so in a way that would help other people to also tackle this. People who were not necessarily coders, were musicians, freelancers, were artists. Many of us don't know what to do with websites, and I'm certainly no website designer. And I've actually had people who had come to me and said, well, why are you building your website really fast? Why are you not taking your time and making sure to do it right? And I want to make sure I tell everybody who's watching this, I am not saying we should rush to build things without really thinking through and making sure that they are designed effectively, that you invest in a good web designer or invest in the things that you need to invest in to make sure that your website or whatever else you build digitally or on the internet is done right. What I'm doing here is showing you that I'm laying the foundation for that, just like I would hope you would be laying the foundation for your website and your digital home. And the main reason, again, that I'm doing this in front of everyone is because I want you to see that it's possible, that you don't have to simply send it off to somebody, pray that it comes out okay, and not be aware of what you're actually using in your creative career. I want you to have ownership. I want you to be aware and have no fear of knowing what works and what is being effective in your creative life and your creative career. And that includes your technology tools, your website, things like that. So, what I'm doing today is I'm going to step back a little bit. And by the way, anybody has comments, I'm here on Facebook and on YouTube, but I should be able to see your comments, and I'll make sure to do that right now. Let's make a window a little bit smaller and make sure that you guys can see me here. I have a couple of things, so I'll just say welcome. Make sure everybody can see me. And if you want to comment there, I'll be able to see your comments and respond on both Facebook and on YouTube. So today, well, yesterday, if you watched yesterday's, I tried to jump right into the website, and that was a mistake. I should have taken my time. And that's the first probably lesson that I put myself on the hot seat here as a entrepreneur, as someone that's used to getting things done right away. I like to just figure it out. I don't like to read instructions. I like to learn by doing. Good to see you, Rinda. Good, good. I think I'm reading that right. My screen is small, so it's squeezing your name together. There we go. Yes, Rinda, thanks for joining. So I want to get your feedback as well, you that are watching. What kind of things are you dealing with when it comes to the main obstacle of your website? And we're not going to limit it to websites, but I'm talking about websites, but just what technological obstacles do you face? Do you feel like, okay, I don't know what to do when it comes to tweeting or Instagram or Facebook? Do you get stuck with websites like we're talking about here and not sure how to even make it work and find that it's just sitting there but people aren't responding to it, or you're not getting clients there? Or maybe you're dealing with a situation with you are selling things, you are getting your word out there with your announcements and your website, but you're not capitalizing on it because you might sell one thing, but then you don't know how to keep up with that customer, and you feel like it's a one-time thing, and you're constantly trying to reach out to people to keep things going in your internet life and your digital life and your business, but it's not building any momentum. So any of these problems that you're having, I want to hear it because that's what I was facing and I am facing. as a musician. Again, I'm a keyboardist. If you don't know, I'm a pianist. I have a website that was not working effectively, that it was simply a template site that I built maybe 10 years ago. It wasn't even really built, it was kind of like built for me. And it was just sitting there. I had a bio that was old, I had pictures that were old, I hadn't updated anything. And that's what motivated me to go back and fix this. So that's why I'm also interested in what you are struggling with, if there's any struggle with your website or something else in the digital world where your online home is in need of refreshment. So that's what we're talking about. Excuse me. Let me get a little sip of water or something to help me out here. So yeah, talking a long time. You're not used to it now. I have to get back to back into talking more than just a couple of minutes at a time. So I'm going to then go to my screen here. And first, before I go to my screen, actually, see, I wanted to jump to my screen. But first, I want to show you this. And I showed this yesterday, too. Oh, my goodness, still. I need a little bit of sip of something. So here I have my little diagram of what I want my website to look like. Now, I know you can't see this. I don't know. But what I am trying to work on is what I need on my website. So there's some things that everybody needs to see and know about me when they come to my site. Problem is, my original site had none of that. As a matter of fact, I wish I could pull up a screenshot of what my old site looked like, and it was just not working out for me. But basically, here's what I'm asking myself. It's like, what do I need next to show people that, when they come to my site, they're able to figure out what they need? What are they looking for? Are they looking for my music? Are they trying to contact me? So let's go to this one. First thing I realize is that I need is a call to action. And a call to action is not salesy. It's just it's a phrase that means, what do I want my customer, my audience to do when they get to my site? And so I wrote down here, and again, I'm doing this live for you guys. I wrote down contact, booking. They need to be able to be booking. I also put down social, because they need to be able to reach my Instagram, my Facebook, and things like that. And free content. So free content would be like videos and things like that, or maybe a song. So I decided that I need to make sure that there needs to be a call to action to one of these things. So there's one thing that when they get to my site, they'll be able to do. Now, maybe I should switch real quick so you can see what I have right now. Right now on my site, I don't even have any of that stuff. What I have is this. I have a placeholder of me jumping up. And as you can probably tell, there's absolutely nothing here right now. Let me see if I can switch this up. This is a placeholder site, and it comes with a plugin that comes with WordPress. And all it does is just give me a kind of a blank slate where I don't have to put anything, any changes I make in my site right now. None of that's showing up right now, thank God, because right now I should have something clickable here, but there's no call to action. There's nothing. All it is just a coming soon page. And so that's really all I have right now for my site. So what I need is something to tell people when they get to my site, what are they supposed to do? What happens now? What am I supposed to do? So anybody that's watching this now, if you're watching now or on replay, do you have a call to action on your site? Do you have something where people come there, they don't just see a picture of your video or a picture of you or a song, but there's something definite that you want them to do? Is there anything that you want to make clear that when you get to the site, sign up for this or attend this or go here? That's something I'm going to need on my site, and I'm going to start building some of that as we go. But as I said, I stepped back a little bit to say, what else do I need? Something else I said I needed to make sure I have is all my information needs to be above the fold. Now, like I just showed you on this page here, you guys all know when you scroll your website, there's that part that you see before the website goes anywhere. And then you have to scroll to get to the bottom part. So one of the things I realized was that in my previous website, a lot of the information was like you had to scroll to read anything that was important. And so what I realize now is this time when I build my site, I want to make sure that everything I need is on the top so that the person that goes to my site does not have to go anywhere else, but all the important information, whether it be concert dates, whether it be how to buy my music, whether it be that first call to action, whether it be a members area. I'm working on a members area that I want to build in my site that's not there yet. So all those things I want to make sure that are there above the fold so that they do not have to scroll to get there. And then I need to make sure again, what is my customer looking for? Are they looking for signing up for my mailing list, or are they looking to hear something? So whatever they need to hear or want to see, I need to make sure it's on the very first page and the very first thing they see. So here's where I should probably let you see what I've got so far. And again, from my total transparency, there's really nothing there yet, right? So what I'm using is that I went ahead and registered my domain through Bluehost. As a matter of fact, I think it renews today. So there's your domain, your Allen, whatever, paul.com, blah, blah. And then there's the host. And the host is where your website lives. And mine is hosted on Bluehost. And you can check that out at guidetogigs.com/Bluehost if you want to get a deal on building your website through WordPress or any of these other sites. So I'm about to take you to where my website lives right now. And let's see if I get to the right place. We'll go to appearance. Let's see. Make sure you guys can see. And again, I'm showing you my exact site. This is exactly what I'm doing here. And this is inside WordPress. And here's the theme I bought. So I bought Parallax Pro, is a theme that I bought from inside. You can buy these inside Bluehost. I might have bought this inside Bluehost. I'm not sure. But then this is inside WordPress.org that I'm doing all this. And if you have a question about this, by the way, about what WordPress is, or whether you built your site on Wix, or whether you you've tried to have this a Weebly site. Some people do Weebly. Some people do Squarespace. I'm choosing WordPress.org because WordPress is the most flexible of all of those platforms. But you might use something else. So if you use something else, let me know, and I will try to get you some information about that. But what I'm using is this one. So I'm going to go to customize, and I'll show you what I have so far. And it's again, I'm being very transparent. There's really nothing there yet to talk about, but this is where I'm learning to build my site. And what I had yesterday, let's see if it pops up. There we go. So what I had yesterday was just this first page. I have some stuff above the fold, but that's it. Nothing else. And I was also able to put this video here. But as you can see, that's below the fold. See, I had to scroll to get to that. So what I'm already realizing is I'm probably going to have to make sure that this, or whatever I put up here, needs to be right away something that people will see and hear and want to click on. And I have to make sure I know what that is. The other thing that I didn't know how to do yesterday was my menus. And that's where I finally got over here and read some directions. And I figured out that this is where my menus go. And again, you can see here I've got a couple of drop down menus, but this is all the sample stuff. So none of these pages are things I actually want people to see. These are things that are set up by the demo. The good part is I can go ahead and start using some of this stuff and trying out different things to build my menus out and figure out where I want them to go first. Where would I want somebody to go right away? And those are the pages that I'll build next in terms of what I need on my site. So that's what I have so far. Now what I'm thinking right now is, and you guys can give me some suggestions, I'm thinking that there needs to be a call to action right here. Right now I'm like, okay, if I come to this page, if I want to immediately figure out something, I need to see or click something right below this byline so that they don't have to scroll to look at anything, and that immediately they can go to this, find something, or go here and find something. That's what I would like to do in the next couple of sessions, is build out this section. Now, over here, when I look at widgets, I have a section right here where I was able to put some of this info, where I could go, welcome to my musical world, and let me share my stuff. Now here is where I could add something different. And I'm just going to experiment a little bit so you can see what I can do here. I'm going to remove this. And let's just say I wanted to do I really want a contact form, but we haven't had a contact form yet, but I'm going to build one pretty soon. But let's just say I want them to go to a featured page or even a calendar or something like that. I could put that here with a gallery or something like that. And then I could add an image. And I don't really have any images yet, but maybe I had the one with me jumping so far. I haven't put that in. So I'm going to go and make sure I add some more pictures to this pretty soon. What I want to make sure is, does this work? Oh, okay, so that makes a smaller picture there. But remember, it's a gallery, so it's going to be more than one picture that's available there. So I might use something like this and put my pictures underneath, and each one of these pictures could be something that people could click on. That might work out pretty well. And then I could have each one of these pictures have a different designation underneath, like see me for this, see me for that, or click on that. So any of those things, if they fit under there, and let's go back and make sure they're actually there. In the gallery, it's cut off there, so I would have to fix that. So let's go ahead and get rid of that again. So again, you can see where I'm just clicking around to figure out what I might want to see on the site, but it is very user-friendly because each thing pretty much does what I expect it to do. If I see a site, if I see something, it's what you see is what you get. So that's what I'm looking at right now, is how can I add something here that I would like to put as my call to action. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let's do that now. Let's change this to sign up for my Music Insiders so you can stay in touch, I guess. So now I've just changed it. So that would be where they go first. And you know what I also don't like anymore? I'm starting to not like this font or this color. So if I wanted to go back here and change some of the basic colors here, I have link colors, menu colors, accent colors. None of these things are links yet, so that's not going to affect that. To affect that, I would have to go back into another part of WordPress. But I'm going to publish that right now. And now we're going to look, what I'm going to look for, maybe not now, let me switch back for a second, because I want to make sure I'm making clear that what I'm doing right now is deciding what's going to work best for my particular site, and I want a contact form. Now I use ConvertKit for my contacts, and I can build in right here by using ConvertKit. I can build in a form where people will be able to find my site, or not find my site, but they'll be able to sign up for my mailing list. And what I can do is I can make a little button here. Now you might say, again, I'm not techie, I don't know anything about that, but ConvertKit is really easy to build buttons. And you know what, I want to do it actually. I kind of want to do it live here, but I don't know if that's the wisest thing because it will take a little while for me to build it. But what I'm thinking is, what I'll do is I'll put a button right there underneath that, so that people can click on that button and then they'll immediately go to my mailing list. So you might ask, okay, well, is your mailing list connected to your website? As soon as they click on that button, are they going to go to a new site or something like that? Well, it could be either one. I could have them go to that site directly, the mailing list website, or I can make it a pop-up where it would pop up inside my site. They don't have to go anywhere. Some people don't like pop-ups, but it makes it very easy because you don't have to go to a different site. So that's another possibility that I might use right there. So what I'm going to do is then go to ConvertKit make sure that that's there in terms of a button that I could use, and then the button will go there, and I'll be able to have them go to the mailing list, and my call to action is there. So I'll have one clear call to action. I have one clear call to action, and then I have one clear button where this is where I want you to go. And then on the other side, I can have my menus go to all those other places that people might want to click on for the for my free content or my socials. All that stuff could be in the menu up there. But as you can see, I'm keeping it really simple. I don't necessarily need a lot of bells and whistles. What I want to make sure is that whatever I have my people come to my site, they can immediately find what they're looking for, get there quickly. And so I have some more work to do in terms of those particular pages, but at least I know that I can put my call to action there and change that pretty easily. So if you're interested in getting your site built like I'm doing in WordPress, I would suggest you go to godandgigs.com/bluehost, because that's where I was able to register my site, hold my domain, and it gives you all the tools and functions you need, even if you're not using WordPress like I am. If you're going to use Wix or Weebly or Squarespace, they also have integrations for those places. But the cool thing is they have a deal where you can get half off the hosting fee. It's only like $4 a month to get shared hosting. That means your website is shared there. And by the way, if you built your site somewhere else, you can also transfer it to Bluehost, and Bluehost will help you to get your site transferred. I've transferred this domain over to Bluehost. Well, not the domain, but I transferred the hosting to Bluehost. It was really easy, no big deal. And now, as you can see, I'm free to build my site however I want, but I just have to kind of work through which theme I want, the way I want it to look, and I can always pull in designers and stuff like that as I go. So that's really the goal of that particular thing. If you have more questions about other things that I'm using, other tools I'm using, one of the things that I'm used to get my other site done was called Fiverr. Some of you have heard of Fiverr. Fiverr is where you can hire freelancers. All those resources for anything else regarding this are at godandgigs.com/toolkit, including WordPress, including Bluehost, I should say, and all these other things that could possibly help you to build your site. Okay, so if you need to go to godandgigs.com/toolkit to find all the rest of the resources I'm mentioning, you can find them all there. Fiverr, how to find graphic designers, people that will build logos for you, all that stuff. You can find it at godandgigs.com/toolkit. And then finally, those of you who are following me on this little journey, again, this was just a little key of things that you need to do and think of when you're building your site. And because I'm building my site one piece at a time, I slowed it down today. Didn't try to do much on the internet as we were going, because I want to make sure that my site makes sense. So I diagrammed it. I figured out what I need to build, where things need to go. And so if you want to join me in this journey and get some more resources, go to godandgigs.com/cleanup, and I'll be able to send you the resources that I'm collecting as I build my site, rebuild my site. This is only day 2. So as you can saw, I slowed it down, didn't try to build a whole bunch of stuff in front of you. But then tomorrow, if you come back at 2, I plan to have some more pages done, and you can see whether or not this is starting to take shape the way that I want it to take shape, or if I'm going to have to back up and do some different things. But again, I'm the one that's kind of like putting myself out there, but maybe you have a site that's not quite working. Maybe you need some help. Maybe you want to get with some freelancers, some designers, some people to get your website up and running. Maybe that's you. If that's you, then you need to join me in this little cleanup operation. Go to godandgigs.com/cleanup and you can join us. Okay? So for all those who joined on this particular call, thanks so much. I'm so glad that you were able to join us. If you're watching on the replay, remember, we're going to be doing this every day. Whoops, I almost messed up something there. We're going to be doing this every day from Monday through Friday. I'm going to also go live Saturday and Sunday, but probably a little different time. But Monday through Friday, going live at 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Pacific. And that's when I'm going to be sharing this stuff with all of you. So thanks so much for watching. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Once again, godandgigs.com/cleanup if you want to be a part of this little exercise and getting our websites up and working. Mine is, again, you can see it's only a little template yet, but I'm starting to make a little bit of sense of where I want things to go. And I'm planning right now to keep it really simple. I'm not going to make it busy. I'm not going to add a bunch of things to buy right now, but I do think I want those kind of things on my site. And again, using godandgigs.com/bluehost, I'm using that. I'm using WordPress. I'm going to be using Fiverr. I'm going to be using Canva. I haven't mentioned Canva a lot, but Canva you can get at godofgigs.com/toolkit. You can find a link for Canva to try that out. Canva is amazing. If any of these other tools that I'm talking about interest you, definitely go to godofgigs.com/toolkit to check those out. Okay? So that's our little checkup for today, our update. I hope you enjoyed this little talk and little example of how I'm working on my cleanup. If you want to email me and continue to talk about this, email me at alan@godandgigs.com. I love to continue this conversation and keep on getting our websites in tip-top shape so that we can get our digital lives in order, have more influence, more impact, and earn more income as we serve the people that we've been called to serve and become the creators that we were created to be. Okay? Thanks so much for joining me, everybody.